Good evening, everyone. My name is Nyla Duhan, and this is SurfEx. A man by the name of Neil Armstrong once said, "One small step for man is one giant leap for mankind." When Neil took his first steps on the moon, he was going where no human had ever dreamed of going. His first steps were cemented not only on the moon's surface, but throughout history forever. The only thing is, the moon is only one of billions of celestial bodies in our galaxy. Thus, why should we only limit ourselves to the nearest orbiting body? After 50 years, humans are more than ready to explore space and celestial bodies outside of the moon. For one, whether it's a Milky Way bar or the collection of billions of stars of the same name, exploring space allows us to find our place in the universe. The universe is ever expanding in either direction for eternity. Thus, being able to find our place among other bodies and systems that may also contain life or living organisms is a must. Along with life, with any major excursion, development of new technology benefits not only off-planet exploration, but also any on-planet discoveries, concerning the thousands to millions of things created for each space shuttle launch with only one function in mind. This technology can be used to collect material samples, search for signs of life, find future habitats, and honestly, are about as cool as Ryan Reynolds. Thus, the main mission objective for our project today is to create a low-cost module surface explorer with the capabilities to explore any body in the solar system while being able to carry a wide range of scientific instruments. This mission objective feeds directly into the goals and needs we have developed for our project. First and foremost, the SurfEx can cost no more than $10 million, ensuring that space exploration and discovery become more accessible and affordable in the years to come. It will also be no more than 50 kilograms and be able to carry a scientific suite of instrumentation of up to 20 kilograms. Along with being able to navigate rough terrain, SurfEx shall also be able to operate in a low gravity environment to ensure we can explore as many places within the solar system as possible. However, with such a wide range of possible destinations for SurfEx, both autonomous and remote capabilities are required, along with the ability to communicate and relay scientific data in order to make these missions worthwhile. Finally, while these aren't required, some additional goals we have for this project to guarantee future success and longevity in the space industry include having a lifetime of over one Earth year, being modular, and being cost efficient. I shall now pass it over to Micah, who will talk more about our project SurfEx and some of its features.
Thanks, Nyla. I'm Micah Pledger, and I'm sure you're wondering, what is the SurfEx? We want to be able to explore space without risking human life, which is why we designed the SurfEx. Not only does it meet the needs and goals which Nyla described, but it's also affordable, adaptable, and replaceable. The SurfEx is a standardized rover body with various interchangeable elements which are customized based on the consumer's specific mission. This modular design allows for the SurfEx to be adapted to a multitude of missions and environments while reducing the costs with simpler production, logistical ease, and a simplified design process. This gives the consumer more design flexibility without the extra costs that come with researching an entirely novel rover design. The standard rover will be solar powered with fuel cells, have a titanium body, and wheel mounts while connecting to the Deep Space Network. A large influence on our design is from rovers, specifically on Mars. These were each considered successes with capabilities to traverse across the uneven and rough Martian terrain and collect significant amounts of scientific data. However, the cost of these rovers, with the Spirit and Opportunity costing $1.2 billion alone, is a serious barrier to widespread space exploration, as these were designed for only one environment, driving up the costs. By creating a standard rover body with custom elements, this reduces costs significantly, much like the use of CubeSats in the small satellite market. By limiting size, these satellites are smaller and lighter, which significantly reduces launch costs, in addition to its common use. With the standard form, components do not have to be specially designed for an individual rover. Another inspiration came from PC builds, which consumers are able to customize the capabilities to their machine based on exactly what they want or need. This allows for machines within various budgets, along with a wide range of uses and easy replacements. Next, Anna will discuss the SurfEx's concept of operations.
Hi, my name is Anna Jung, and this is the concept of operations for the SurfEx. In the first square, we have the carrier landing on the surface. In the second square, we have the carrier deploying the SurfEx. In the third square, we have the SurfEx beginning its startup sequence, as shown by the thought bubble and the rotation of the solar panels toward the sun. And in the fourth square, we have the SurfEx beginning its normal operations and communications. Here is the concept of operations for the SurfEx's communications. To send information back to Earth, the SurfEx must first communicate with the carrier. The carrier will then communicate that information to the nearest satellite, and that satellite will then communicate the information back to ground control via the deep space network. To send information from the ground to the SurfEx, the ground control must first communicate with the satellite. The satellite will then communicate with the lander, and then the lander will send that information to the SurfEx. Here is the n-squared diagram for our system. The system's functions are denoted in the diagonal blue boxes. Our system's functions include the primary users, the ground control station, the deep space network, the lander, the SurfEx, and a partner SurfEx or a partner explorer. Function inputs are denoted by the columns, and function outputs are denoted by the rows. For example, a data request is inputted into the ground control station, and the ground control station outputs a command and scientific data and performance updates. I will now hand it off to Terry Thowndale to talk about SurfEx's concept architecture.
Now on to the physical architecture of our design. Because our requirements have a lot of variation in the environments that we are going to access and other tolerances we need to have, our overall goal with this design was to go for customization and modularity. This would help, of course, with us being able to have very specific elements that will help in certain climates, but that aren't needed in others. But that also would help us in the weight department as we could reduce redundant materials. And with that will come cost as well. So the way we did this was to have the bare bones section of the rover be the only part where things are mostly hard lined and done ahead of time. So the motor setup for the wheels, your base computer that will be used to be the set of operations, your batteries, a couple of solar panels that protect the sides, and bare minimum communications equipment is something that we will provide on the base. And every rover will have this. However, all of the other elements, including the wheels themselves, are custom to the environment. In places with flat terrain, for example, you won't need as much. So many elements like that, any extra amount of batteries and sensors and instruments, those are all going to be separate from this main section. And they are all going to be attached on top of this, which may seem difficult. However, there is one way that it can be made simpler. As a means to assist in our customization goal, we also decided to go very, very heavily into the modular element of our design. Every single one of our instruments will be held in a sort of standardized structural container. These are actually the exact same dimensions as the U units used on CubeSats. However, these rovers will likely be much bigger. However, because we are using the exact same sizes, we can of course benefit from having everything be pre-sized and known to fit within tolerances, but also take advantage of technologies that were created to put sensors onto CubeSats, as they were already meant to fit that size. It'll be even easier to fit them in here. On top of that, we were interested in using this technology as a way to allow third-party licensing and other companies to make their own modules that fit in here, which is a benefit as it could increase the range of ability that our rover has over time, and it keeps our design relevant into the future even as we are not immediately releasing new modules. It'll also allow other teams to keep their designs relevant and be incentivized to hold on to them longer as they're easy to refit.
Hi, it's Anna, and I'm back with the cost breakdown for the SurfEx. First up, we have research and development coming in with the majority of our budget at a total cost of $5 million. Research and development will consist of the necessary testing and development of our technology, design, software, and communication for the SurfEx. Next up, we have the cost of materials and hardware coming in at $1 million. This includes the bare bones materials it takes to make the SurfEx. Subsequently, we have the cost of manufacturing and labor with a total of $2 million US. This would be the cost to put the SurfEx together and pay our workforce. Finally, we have an included price for 365 Earth days of continuous operations. This is essentially 24/7 monitoring of the SurfEx's conditions and its communications. This total is estimated at $1 million USD. The total cost of the SurfEx is $9 million US, under the initial budget of $10 million with an added bonus of continuous operations. Now I will hand it off to Terry for our closing.
And that concludes our proposal. Thank you for watching, and here are the references to every site that we used for design, research, and photographs.